Doctor. Hold him! Hold him!
How did we get here? The burning of the carnival is a major turning point for Season 1 of AMC's The Terror. It serves as a last grand moment of leisure for the crew, cementing the transition from exploratory voyage to a march for survival. As the crew are drinking, singing, and dancing in their makeshift carnival fort, the camera goes outside to a flap door being tied shut, and then pans over a figure going about pouring what we come to find is a flammable liquid around the edges of the carnival complex. The ominous music and foreboding tone gives this scene a direct, sinister feeling to it, leading one to possibly assume it could be Hickey, perhaps, preparing some devious plan. It is revealed to not be Hickey, but the dour Dr. Stanley. If you would like to know more about Hickey, please check out my previous video. Dr. Stanley, though, comes as such a surprise as perhaps he is one of the last men we would assume to be doing something so grievously horrible. He gives no explanation for his immolation, leaving us with nothing but character analysis and speculation for his reasoning. Up until this point, Dr. Stanley is presented as a reasonable, albeit somewhat cold, member of the expedition. His first scene has him used as a foil against Mr. Goodsir, both showing vastly different approaches to bedside manner.
I didn't want to disappoint Sir John.
Well, he can praise your loyalty as he buries you.
Do you know, sometimes when people are near passing, I've heard they speak of a radiance, like a million daybreaks all in one, in which loved ones are there to welcome them over.
From this disparity, we can see how Dr. Stanley shows no regard for the emotions of his patients, even when presenting them with a dooming diagnosis. Another noticeable trait of Dr. Stanley is his respect and participation in authoritative structures. When being addressed by the Admiralty, he always bows, saying yes sir to their orders and completing them to the best of his abilities. When he is addressing the crew or his surgeon, Mr. Goodsir in particular, he asserts his authority. He seems to have a very rigid respect for the hierarchy structure and his place in it. Aside from this, though, we don't get much character development to go on, so let's look at some of the scenes leading up to the carnival for a motive. Dr. Stanley's scene that immediately precedes the carnival involves Mr. Goodsir informing him of his discovery of lead poisoning coming from the canned foods.
We've been fishing bits of it out of our food, out of our mouths, this entire journey. It's a constant ingestion of lead over years. This could explain David Young's passing, the men on Beachy, why we're seeing so many men come to us with these odd complaints. This is going to get worse and worse. We need to let Command know immediately.
I will think it through and decide on a plan.
What is there to think through?
Your energy is full of panic, Mr. Goodsir, and that will not help anyone here.
I cannot stand
It
by
is
while
not yours to decide. I will do. You will not.
Worse and worse, Doctor.
Leave it with me.
I had initially thought this was perhaps the moment that he decided to burn the carnival, being perhaps disparaged by the lead poisoning and Mr. Goodsir's ability to find it, but I don't believe that is the case after deeper analysis. Notice Dr. Stanley's demeanor and complexion here. He looks and sounds as though he has not slept in a while. He offers no insight or genuine concern for Goodsir's findings, simply saying that he will take care of it. He says this because he had already planned to burn the carnival at this point, and this news from Goodsir does not change his plans at all. Now, let's jump to the next earlier scene, where Mr. Collins is requesting Dr. Stanley's help with some brewing mental issues. He brushes off Mr. Collins, saying that he is a doctor of physical medicine, not a psychologist, but still reassures him that the carnival will help out his mental state.
But I think what you need to do is keep busy. To keep putting your energy to positive use, which is exactly why Captain Fitzjames has ordered a party made. It is a prescription I support for all the men. Look forward to the party. Mr. Collins, a little fun is what is needed. Fun? Yes. A sense of fun.
You can hear the disbelief as Collins repeats the word fun, as this is extremely hard to believe, especially coming from the dour Dr. Stanley himself. Based on Stanley's assurance that the carnival will sort them all out, it's reasonable to assume that even still, at this point, he has decided to burn the carnival before this scene. This is supported also by the drawing of his daughter that is open while talking to Collins. He's likely doing this to say goodbye to his family. This scene also showcases something that the Terror does extremely well with its characters: foils and duality. Here we have two men in this conversation. Both have gone mad, but one has accepted and succumbed to it while the other is writhing and struggling in his own mind. One is calm, collected, and seemingly reasonable despite harboring a dangerous insanity, while the other is nervous, shaky, and nearly unable to be consoled. Moving earlier still, we finally get to the opening scene of episode 6, a meeting of the officers in which they discuss inventory and plans. This scene contains the evidence that we need, despite Dr. Stanley not having a speaking role for the entire time. After a lengthy analysis of inventory and rations, Captain Fitzjames says the words that sends Dr. Stanley over the edge.
And finally, advise Mr. Wall and Mr. Diggle that they should emphasize salt meats in their menus now, not the tins. We must start to preserve all things portable now. And not a word of this yet to anyone who is not around this table, excepting the captain, of course. I pray he is with us again soon. Thank you, gentlemen. That completes our business for today.
You can see Dr. Stanley practically die inside in this moment, and as the camera focuses in on him a second time, we see him in a grim, contemplative state. His reaction goes a bit unnoticed, as all the men at the meeting respond in a similarly quiet manner to the mere suggestion that they will have to soon march away from the ships. Even so, it became too much for Dr. Stanley at this moment. Soon after learning this information, he will hatch his plan to burn the carnival sometime after it is announced and before his conversation with Collins. He likely thought, and rightfully so, that if the crew would have to march across land for their survival, then they are all already dead men. He knows it would be a long and gruesome fate of suffering, and so prescribes this diagnosis with a healthy dose of burning to death, to be given to himself and all the men at the carnival. Understanding this now, the statements he makes to Collins and Goodsir in the later scenes make a lot more sense. In his mind, the crew would be sorted out with a swift, hot death, rather than a tired, cold, and starved one. Even as he burns alive, he walks towards the crew with his arms held up, like a prophet offering salvation from a cold and dark fate. He offers what the episode is titled, A Mercy. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, the best way to support the channel for now is to just like, comment, and subscribe. You can comment if there are any characters you would like me to look at next from Season 1 of The Terror. Otherwise, I will continue to do some minor characters here and there until I work up the motivation to tackle Goodsir or maybe Crozier. Until then, thank you, goodbye.